Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What's going on, Bombad fam? Here we are with another wonderful recap, review, discussion show of Andor. Remember, this is live for our Patreons exclusively, for our patrons, really. If you want to be involved, join us at Patreon. It's going to be in the description below. So you are able to click it and join. You can come watch this live as it airs. But for anyone watching it, obviously being already posted, welcome. We've got a lot to say about this episode. Jerry, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing pretty good. There was oh my goodness, a lot to dissect in this one, you know, and I mean, we'll try to keep it fairly brief.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I'm enjoying spending all this time on Coruscant myself.
Okay, so maybe that's what it was, because so far from me, it's my favorite episode, and I don't know what it is. I guess there's some twists and turns I don't expect. Obviously, it is a spoiler discussion, so if you have not seen it, more than welcome to come back to it when you can. Subscribe if you like it this much, share it with your friends. But yeah, the biggest thing with this was I was not expecting Cassian to steal the money. He did say he was going to take his portion. He did say that, but I didn't think he was going to go. Well, he went back to Marva, and he thought Marva was like, all right, let's leave. But Marva knows what's best for her town. She knows what's best. She knows what's going on. Man. So does Bix. And then, you know, he goes off, and he must be there for a minute, because I don't think he's there in one night. I think he's been there for a little while at least.
You're talking about Space Miami.
Yeah,
because
what's it called? It's Miami, not Miami.
I forget what it was. Yeah, Miami.
It's I took a screenshot. It is it's Niamos. Niamos.
Close. It's
very close. It's perfect.
Well, and honestly, it reminded me of Gulf Shores.
Oh my god,
you know, we both are like,
yes,
the little condos and everything, like and I was gonna say, I want to spend like 2 more hours,
oh my god,
in Space Miami.
Yes,
like meet me in Miami. Naomsi.
Naomos.
Naomos.
Niamos. I'm gonna put in the chat so we can remember it.
Meet me in Naomos.
Niamos.
They
didn't say the name.
Niamos,
but the idea was pretty sick, because I thought they were going. What I thought it was, because I thought I heard the noise. I thought they were going to Gleonsom and play the Valachord.
That would have been a pretty cool connection. I was thinking, honestly, my brain went there whenever I was reading the planet name. I was like, is this Niamos.
So it's good, though.
Miami.
So, okay, I guess to kind of break down the structure of this, you had watched it more recently than I did.
Yes.
What does it open up on? I don't remember. Is it not Cassian? Cassian's not until like the first 15 minutes. It's
it goes for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the first.
Oh, it's him looking out the window. It's old boy. I think looking at his figures.
Cyril.
Cyril. Ooh.
We're back to Cyril.
It's a
honestly,
life.
They are really not helping my theory that he is going to be like the Norman Bates of the Star Wars universe.
God,
like kill his mom.
He's
killing his mom, right?
He's got to.
He's killing his mom.
You can see the disdain in his face anytime she speaks.
He is seething with anger.
God,
and she is. I mean, she's just laying it on thicker and thicker.
Asshole. She is an
asshole. He is an asshole too.
Yes, he is.
Because of him, but it's like it's this whole thing, and he's gonna kill her. That's all I'm just thinking.
I'm looking up on Disney Plus right now so I can see the structure of it, because I really don't remember what flowed to what.
It kind of starts there. It really, honestly, it jumped around a bit. I think bad, but
Jerry, I think that is why it is my favorite episode, because it didn't stay still.
It didn't like in one spot.
No,
or even just 2 spots.
Exactly. It kept moving. It had some movement to it.
Well, we even caught up with Cinda, right?
Yes.
On Aldani.
Yep.
And like she's getting ready to, head out. Here we go.
What a great opening shot.
We got a little bit of that.
Oh my god.
So they are really doing good at making Coruscant feel like an actual city.
Yeah, they really are.
There's I don't know what it is. I mean, it's the real locations and everything, and that they're not doing the green screen as much, but it feels so Coruscant. Yet, I was always thinking like most of these buildings look like they're made of metal or something.
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of like metal alloys and things, and there's a
some
lot of concrete. There's a lot of like
yes, and like actual
very real, very earthly.
This
in
shot
a
right
good
here.
way.
We got the HoloNet news, dude, for the first time in canon.
The HoloNet news, but also just like it on a real, like an old looking TV.
Yes,
like this feels like Luc Besson or something.
Yes, it does, dude. Really does.
I was thinking Fifth Element, like whenever and again, it fits in. It fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But like, no, this is like, I wonder if they're gonna throw it to Alton Kazal,
Oh my god, and dude, Wolf Yularen, and I knew it was Wolf. I didn't even have subtitles on, but I knew like mustache, white hair. You can see his insignia. Like they wouldn't do this and have it be someone else.
Well,
like,
and honestly, they made Wolf Yularen feel a little more fascisty than I remember him. And like we got him in the Clone Wars, and he's like, just a good commander or whatever.
Yep.
Even in Rebels, he seemed kind of warm and inviting, when he was looking for Agent Callus. But here he's like, we're going to tighten our grip, and I actually think that we really need to start checking the IDs of only aliens.
Yes,
like, it was
literally
like so. It felt so icky, like but so good.
It does.
Like,
it does.
The whole speech, like we're cracking down. And you see that throughout the episode. It cascades like to even Aldani and everything, right?
And look, there's Wolf there. So they had a pretty good body double for the most part. I mean, it's so funny. Wolf Yularen is a background character, but with Clone Wars, I mean, we were privileged enough to not have him be a background character anymore.
He's all over.
And then in Rebels, the same thing happened. And even in the Thrawn novels, he's like a big character in the Thrawn novels. So it was the line that got me so excited was, I spoke with the Emperor personally last night. I'm like, oh, because I'm like, they are still friends. And like, you almost can't blame Wolf because, I mean, he was part of the Republic, and I guess he was just down to, if it changes, it changes.
He's down to clown. But I mean,
weird.
He's one of those dudes who's like there's gonna be the dudes who are good dudes, and then your government goes fascist, and they're immediately like, you know what?
They bad.
Like maybe I should start turning my neighbors in or whatever. I mean, or they're they go all in, but it is all he's known and everything, and it is just strange knowing him from the Clone Wars and seeing this juxtaposition of here's where he is, how far he has fallen.
God,
frankly.
But also
I kept waiting for Thrawn to show up. Honestly,
dude.
Like I wouldn't put. What if this is where we get Thrawn for the first time?
I would actually explode. This show would lose all of its. This show would lose all of its credit as Zero's Easter eggs. The show would literally. This would have this. I actually probably would take off work. I would call in sick because I wouldn't be able to handle that. And watch this. Because
I'm in a catatonic state because of the blue man with red eyes.
Literally, for the Bombad fans that aren't watching it live, obviously, but the ones that are going to watch it later, I will be out of the country next week in Mexico, so I won't even have service to watch Andor till I come back. And if Thrawn shows up, y'all better be the most tight-lipped people in the world. Y'all,
you better start muting every name of every character in Star Wars who's alive at this time or has been alive.
I will turn off my phone and literally maybe not open it until I watch
it in the
Andor.
ocean.
Yeah,
throw it in the ocean.
They would never
phone, leave it at home, and throw the other one in the ocean. I mean, just leave your phone at home. That's
my god! And then of course next week's Tell the Jedi's too. So I'm also going to be watching that. 2 days after everyone else to see it. I know I'm not ready.
But that's going to be a hard. That's going to be a hard one next week because I'm going to have to. And again, I usually watch it before work. I missed that today.
Yeah.
But there's going to be so much to watch because the next episode of Andor is not going to be a 38-minute episode.
No.
This is the show that is.
I know
the 50-minute, hour-long drama that you're looking
I agree.
for,
Look at Nick Nixon here, and I agree.
Nick?
That's the thing. This show is longevity. I guess longevity. This show's length is something that I've really appreciated, because when I wake up in the mornings and I open Disney Plus and I see 55 minutes, I'm like, yes, like this is different. Like Mando, the problem with Mando is, and I love Mando, is that you would click it and it says 38 minutes and you really only have 32 minutes because credits and intro and everything else, you're like, damn, like, God.
It's a testament to the different types of storytelling. And again, they both feel like they're the same universe, but this is showing a very on the ground, very normal-ish people. It's like how the Empire is affecting normal people.
There's an epicness to it, but it's not the same epicness that's in Mando. Mando feels
the spy thriller.
Yes, Mando feels super epic in each episode.
Mandor is Mandor.
Mandor.
I'm thinking Mandor. I'm thinking of Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows. But no, this is, or like Mando's like popcorn.
Yes, it is like
in a good way. It's like it's popcorn, it's adventure, it's what you go to. It is what you go to for Star Wars, which we thought it was more gritty for a little while. Remember when we thought that?
We did.
And then Andor exists now, and now we're like, nah. I'm gonna watch Mandalorian with my 3-year-old.
Especially speaking of espionage and like spy feeling, this whole scene.
Oh my
God.
So the dinner, do you think, because we've been building this up for a few weeks because we've thought it was coming for weeks.
I don't think we're gonna see it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see it. Wait, we saw it.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that's what that was. You know what I mean? I think it already happened.
That's what that
I think the dinner already occurred, and we missed it because that looked more like a party than a dinner. You know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah. Well,
what I was referring to is this scene to where you see her realize the rebellion has begun, and I'm like,
and the rebellion costs people's lives.
Yeah,
and you're not going to be able to control everyone and do it peacefully. This is her wrestling with, I want to do this peacefully,
and you can't. There's no single way. The defeat on her face.
Well, and hearing Luthen like go or tell her like, we've had enough. It's time. Like it's time to actually. They've pushed us to a point where we need to actually show them. We need to like what she says. People will suffer. He's like, yes, and they need to. And like just or whatever. He's just like but that whole thing about like there needs to be, in order for there to be real change. I mean, again, people don't need to suffer, but honestly, that's what it takes. It takes people being in compromising positions. It takes like the Empire being scared, pushed into harsher actions, which will make more people fall in line with the rebellion and go, no, which is again what we get in the original trilogy.
Exactly.
Which feels so popcorny now, but you look at it going, and this is the real world implications in space. This is the real something I've been thinking too. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She's being watched, so she literally can't change her posture when she gets told horrific news. Were you the one that did
have to smile?
And he's like, oh, of course, all right, yes, I will gladly show you here. And she's like, like super straight back, because usually when you get bad news, you slouch. You're like, what? Your body language changes, but the whole time, and you can see it. Look at how stiff her body is, because she has to be. She can't be looking like she had been told horrible news. I mean, that was insane. And Genevieve O'Reilly, I've seen a lot of tweets today from that, has been killing this role. For someone who was in a deleted scene.
Circles.
Yes. God.
Circles around everyone.
And I think that's one part of why everyone's really liking it, is that everyone's really liking how well acted it is. And I agree. That is agreeable. This may be equal to the sequel trilogy in terms of really well done, I guess you could say directing and acting. I mean, I've been very impressed by it.
I would honestly say that some of the performances in this might outshine some in the
sequel,
and even the sequel trilogy.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Just because this is not that the sequel trilogy wasn't dealing with, like, the sequel trilogy again. It goes back to it's dealing with the mythic characters.
Yep.
This is the boots on the ground people. And I mean, Mon Mothma is kind of that mythic figure. We've kind of, but we're seeing again her real life and everything, and what she put into this, and why she's the leader of the rebellion. This is why We're finding this is her origin story. This is her origin story for real.
And this other thing that makes this show so good is, like we said, spending time on Coruscant special to us prequel kids, right? Like truly and deeply. And they haven't done anything.
We're being fed.
They haven't done anything that's like not out of the realm of George. Now I know it's weird to make that comparison. Usually dude bros say that, but like even in terms of like establishing shots, like it's impressive that it still kind of has that Georgie, looking aesthetic like this. Very George Lucas. Like all of this is very cinematic.
Oh, absolutely. You almost forget when they're doing the scenes, though, that again, you almost forget you're watching Star Wars. You're watching a real drama.
Yep.
That's enthralling. And then you cut to Speeder taking off. And it's like, whoa, this is insane that this is in Star Wars. It's good.
I agree.
It's good that it's in Star Wars. And you know what? I've been thinking week to week here. This feels with the inclusion, the amount, like, the representation of different types of people and the more adult subject matter. This feels like one of the novelizations, like not novelization, but like an actual
Star Wars novel,
adult novel. Yeah. Star Wars adult novel acted out on screen. It does, because how many of those have you read and gone, oh, this is a little gritty for Star Wars?
Well, the Zahn trilogy definitely is. Like, and look, I mean, this has been in the Zahn trilogy for years now, even up until even in the most recent trilogy I'm referring to. Like, we've always wanted, like, that's where Thrawn Train was at the ISB, and like I always wondered what it looked like. And obviously, they're gonna have some NSA level security checks, reading through, probably listening to holo calls, like all of it. And like to think like that's someone's job. He gets the gist in the background. But this shot was teased in the concept art, and I'm not kidding. I think it's the closest rendition from concept art to reality I've ever seen in Star Wars. I mean, it's like shot for shot the concept art they showed us at that Disney Plus reel, almost 2 years ago. Like shot for shot, that same thing.
Are you get? I don't know, but I'm getting what's the organization from Loki?
The time surveillance, time
authority,
time authority. That's it.
Time something authority. I'm getting big that vibes from
timeline authority.
That thing. Time variance authority.
That's right. Exactly.
That's what that feels like that, because there's just it goes on forever, which Star Wars is like. It's a galaxy.
It's a brutalist architecture. It's a brutalist architecture, and it works so well. TVA,
so
time
imperialist. It's so crushing.
Yep.
Yet so like it.
And the worst part,
talk about prison and stuff as well, and it cuts. Remember, Cassian's going to prison at the end. Spoilers. Cuts to him in that cubicle.
Yep.
Which is octagonical.
What's even worse is you look at this and you almost have to think to yourself, and I'll pull it up big again as well. Like there's a whole white privilege. There's a whole white privilege moment here too, or I guess culturally privileged, where he's like, your uncle's good people. Since your uncle, we'll get the job expedited for you. I'm like, ooh, like I even made me uncomfortable. Like, man, like they just don't give these jobs to anyone. They're gonna give it to people that are connected. It makes you feel like you should be here. And then look at this. You don't want to be here. Look at the guy with the half tie. That was cool, by the way. That guy's half tie in the background. I like that. But like it jumps from here to the actual internal. It jumps to this whole little moment of her, walking through the walkways of Coruscant, and you get her going to meet up with what's her name. Now, some people made a good comparison. They said this looks an awful lot like the Crimson Dawn, not Crimson Dawn. What was the Crimson Dawn? The little
the Crimson Dawn symbol. Where she went at the top of that walkway.
Yeah, let's see. There it is.
A little bit.
Yeah, someone said that.
Close.
I was like, that would be very interesting. And to see tile floor in Coruscant, that's also kind of the thing now.
You're seeing all the detail, and look at that ceiling too. Like this is very clear. Like it's very real world. Again, they did real locations.
Yeah.
But it kind of adds a lot. It's kind of cool.
It does.
It
is nice.
It adds to, again, the thing people complained about. The prequels didn't have that lived in feel. Sure, maybe. Yes, it did world building though, and now we're getting that lived in. This is imperial, very like you said, brutalist architecture. Coruscant. right here. Straight lines, angles, all that kind of stuff. It's not as Art Deco as it was. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
We aren't in as much of the Art Deco area of Coruscant. We are in, it feels like everything's going to just, again, those straight lines, corners, hard triangles, and all kinds of shapes like that.
And it's good because it's really painting the anthropological photo of what that era looked like. And that's the thing, I think, why I like this episode so much, because it was a lot more establishing shots and quick cuts like a Star Wars movie usually is. Like, you're cutting between so many different stories, and shout out to all the Canto Bite aliens in this scene. There's like 12 of them.
I saw the one that was like the Ithorian, but like you saw the little mouth flapping and stuff like this. I'm like, that's adorable. I won't patronize that giant alien.
I would have liked to have seen some more classic aliens, but I kind of like what they did there with that. That was,
you know what I was thinking about that big alien from Canto Bite with the flappy mouth that looks like Ithorian. There's the Canto Bite alien novel, like with all the different short stories. And I think she is like a sommelier or someone who gets him like in deep, like they're like a wine connoisseur or something. It's interesting. So that's what I was thinking, is like, I know what that's probably the same one. I'm being space racist right now.
Stupid.
But that's what I was thinking, is like, I've seen those aliens. Speaking of aliens, though,
what about this? Hold on, I wanted to show you this.
Oh, go ahead. What we got?
If it'll pull up.
Because I want to talk about all them creatures, man.
Which
all
ones?
them.
My God, on the beach.
The entire Niamos, all of the aliens and everything, just the character design on that, in that scene, absolutely,
oh my God, amazing,
mind-blowingly incredible.
Music, moments, the girl he's sleeping with, all of it.
I was gonna say, we got a girl obviously naked under covers in Star Wars, which that's like a real, I'm not trying to be like, like juvenile, like
no, but that's
it's a very big step for Star Wars. You don't see that.
No, this part
maybe Star Trek. Actually, yes, Star Trek.
Before I give you my gush about Niamos, this right here, where he challenges her publicly, and she shits on him, and he's literally like, dude,
so badass.
That lieutenant's like, watch your back, and I'm like, cool, like, it's so cutthroat.
That scene was so I was on the edge of my seat watching that thing, man. Like, that was such a brilliant scene.
Tarantino-esque with like the duel of the words.
Man.
No one's making expressions.
She gets him right out of the gate too. Because he's like, oh, well, I don't think you're supposed to be looking there. And she's like, well, if you would actually care.
Yes.
He says something that's just like so imperial, so polite, yet so harsh and so mean.
God, it was so good. And it was funny because
a knife to the bone, man.
Yes. It's like, to see a scene like that play out in Star Wars is honestly kind of it's kind of tremendous, like it's so serious.
So
it feels serious, people's jobs in the line, and you almost kind of root for her when you shouldn't.
I know, it's like, because she's figuring it out, but you're like, that dude's an asshole.
Yes. He shouldn't be on that job site. And this is totally how her and Cyril, whatever his name is, they're gonna meet up, because he's working at ISB now. They're like, oh, I'm the one that started this. She's gonna see who's a new employee there. I mean, she's doing her research. She knows what's going on. But let's go back to what Brian said.
Okay,
old lady.
Those were the ones I was like, ooh, neat. I was like,
yes, the three old ladies just sitting there.
Oh man, I don't know what it was. It was like a new creature design. I feel like I was like, ooh, that's a neat one. It looks
so cool.
It looks like Gulf Shores.
It really does. I was because I was texting in our group chat. I'm like, this doesn't look like, because people are like, this looks like Florida. I'm like, this doesn't look so much like Florida to me. This looks a little bit more, I don't know, it looks a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree, like all the shots, you can see like the souvenir shops. And there's the naked girl, 100%.
Yeah,
so wild.
Avert your eyes, kiddies.
The shower scene was cool. How he's stashing his money away.
Yeah,
all of it was awesome.
It's just, oh man,
and he's just walking on the beach too.
Friend of the show, I know, friend of the show, Reagan. You know,
Yes.
our good friend Reagan, who was hosting earlier in the month. She said, "I never thought that I wanted or something about wanting. I never thought I'd get Miami Vice opening from Andor, but here we are and stuff. And that really, that whole, even down to the music, I thought we were about to get a new band scene.
Oh my god, that would have been sick too.
I thought we were about to get a new type of music and a new band playing, and I was gonna be like, I want more of that.
But the rave music was cool.
Out,
boom,
but
boom, boom,
boom, it was so good.
Boom. Yes, it was so good.
I love getting so many new genres in Star Wars and everything.
Look how Star Wars this is, though, when you really think about it. Not Star Wars. Look how real life this is. Where it just looks this minority character is just walking, and all of a sudden he doesn't totally get involved. There's the cops. He's looking around kind of confused, but he doesn't want to be anyone's way, so he's going to kind of rush his way out of the view. So he kind of starts to walk quickly. He's looking around really confused, and he knows he's an outlaw, which makes it more difficult. But this running up the stairs, and then immediately look at the fat dude, that guy playing what's that called?
Playing Space Dejarik.
Yeah, Dejarik. He's playing Dejarik. Look at him. That's so amazing. This big old look at this dude.
All of these, I know, man. Look at just the entire design. I know it's a beach, but we have a freaking, I almost say the F word. Well, we have a freaking diner on Coruscant.
Yes.
Please, let the space beach be there, because it's kind of neat.
It's
kind of cool. I love it. All of this.
This is a new Bombadcast. I'm gonna totally find a way to clip this guy, put him in something. Just look at him. How beautiful. We're gonna have to do a Bombadcast just on the aliens in this scene alone. Look at him. He's got a robot leg. He's got a prosthetic leg. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Look at him. What is
this?
He's
playing against some.
He's got our body type. Hairdo. He's got our body type. I think that's why I know. He's so much.
Yeah. That's why we connected. Our eyes went immediately. He's like, oh, there we are. Representation
that's us in Star Wars.
Pitman.
We're not fat. We're not fat, but we're
lean.
We're whatever lean. We are. No, we're not lean either.
We're thick.
We're something. We're
with
thick.
2 C's.
And look at him. Just look at this guy. And one of the greatest fake outs in Star Wars history too was that we got
thick thighs for days.
We got a K2SO droid, and that was brutal.
That was okay. So this is the first time we've seen them in live action, in action.
Yes.
As Imperial droids.
Yes.
Because we see K2, but it's different. This was very look, he just drops the bodies right there. Probably hopefully just they're terrifying.
He throws another one. Yeah.
Look at that one. That's so Men in Black.
Yeah, it really is. Look at this. This is scary.
Did you think that this was K2?
No, I didn't think they would do it this early. But I think
Do you think we're gonna get it though?
What I think is gonna happen
in the series,
I think they're gonna send those droids to Ferrix, and then he's gonna take one down, and then somehow B2 Emo is gonna get messed up, and he takes B2 Emo's computer insides and puts it in K2. That's what I would hope.
Was I the only one who wanted B2 to go with him? I wanted B to go with him.
I know, me too. That wasn't going to work out.
But I mean, I know Marva needs him and stuff. I know Marva's older and
God.
By the way, we didn't really talk about it, but her entire speech,
brutal.
Her talk to him was, man, because dude. So this show is again, time and time again, done so well with taking the things that we know should be scary. Stormtroopers, TIE fighters. All this stuff should be scary. And most of the time we're not really scared of them because we're like, oh, we can do whatever. But here we had that one, for one thing, I screamed, shore trooper, whatever. I love that we see them actually patrolling the shore. It makes sense.
It does now.
Yes.
Does now. And it doesn't look out of place. And it's not a stormtrooper. No. It doesn't have that same exact imagery. It's nice. It's gray. And this scene, by the way.
But well, what I was gonna say was with the Marva stuff, you had him, I guess, sneaking away after he went to see Bix. Remember, and the stormtroopers were passing by, and he remembered back to when his basically stepfather, adopted father,
got killed.
How How scary was that moment?
Brutal.
The moment where you see the rocks hit and they just stop.
Yep.
Oh my God. It's like before people knew exactly what the Empire was.
Yep.
And they will just take you out.
Also,
he went there to stop. He went there to stop them.
Stop them. And
so
when they turn around, he was the martyr. And the fact that he's like, the part where she's like, I always avoided, took the long way home to avoid that street where he hung.
I can never see that.
And then she said, whenever, what was the thing that made her walk with pride? That she did it, that she could walk through she said something changed in her. I think it was the rebellion. It was Cassian causing that heist that made her walk with she could walk through it.
I'm glad that you can do that. She was like, I'm glad that you did that to show that, it can be done and the rebellion is starting.
Yeah.
But you can't stay here and everything. Mainly because he wanted to go live a life
with them.
Nehamos and she didn't want to.
Then this is the last thing we need to cover real quick. This whole moment where he gets sent to prison, maybe one of my favorite twists in this show so far, because we've seen it in the trailers. You and I broke down the trailers a good bit.
We knew he was going to make there somehow,
but I did not think it was going to be in this. He gets away, but his greed of wanting to escape is what puts him there inevitably. His not wanting to help the greatest cause.
His greed and also the space racism again of the stormtroopers.
Yes.
Well, that's actual racism. Then there's xenophobia with the other beings and stuff. But it actually, frankly, it is it's profiling. It's all. He was looking around. He's like, oh, you're one of them. Yeah, you are. And that's why he goes to jail, which happens so many times in this country. It's just absolutely heartbreaking, absolutely terrifying. All of it.
God, this is my favorite because of how much movement there was, how much change in story there was.
Yeah.
And inevitably, the small references, those always get me, and people always dog on those things, but I really enjoyed the small references. Even something like I spoke to the Empire last night, Wolf Yularen, and then the K2 droid, that sets it for me. That makes me feel like I'm in that universe,
Yeah. Well, and again, I am glad we're using the K2 droids because I feel like everyone's been like, I want to create my own thing. We have the droids in Mando and stuff, which are really cool, but to have actual KX units, I think they're called.
Yes.
Was incredible. But also to oh man, you talk about hearing Emperor Palpatine's name. How about hearing it from the way that Mon talks about the Emperor? She's scared of him now. She knows. She is.
So
she knows what he's capable of.
Maybe we'll get that hearing in the Senate next week. I mean, we've been seeing a shot of Mom Mothma from behind that we still haven't gotten yet. This is where they do it.
We will in some way.
Because Wolf
Palpatine, I know Palpatine doesn't go do everything. You think we'll in some way get Palpatine?
If that either that or Mazamita. Either that or
Mazamita. He's one of the good ones.
He's one of the good ones. So next week predictions, Mazamita. I'm excited. This episode was fantastic. This is the first one I'm going to rewatch. I haven't rewatched any of these episodes. This is the one I'm going to rewatch because this is the one that really put me over the edge. But everyone, if you like what you heard here, every week, every Thursday, tomorrow, we're doing one of our favorite episodes of the year, our Bombadcast creepypasta, where we read your fan-submitted creepypastas on live air, and we've got some funny ones coming up. But Gerry, to close this thing out, can you give us a good stay Bombad? Because I got Bombad Gaming coming up, bud.
You got Bombad Gaming coming up. Yes, again, send those to our the bombadcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
If you get a story, if you're watching this on the replay, send a story. Go ahead, do it. What are you waiting for? And also, stay Bombad.